In NASCAR, there's always been drivers who have dominated certain tracks and certain track types. You look at the super speedways, you got the Earnhardt. You look at the short tracks, you got guys like Rusty Wallace and Kyle Busch, among others. But then there's the road courses. Road courses nowadays are a growing commodity in NASCAR, but in the past, they were the rarest form of racing in NASCAR's top division. With this, there have been tons of drivers who have raced well at these tracks. And there's been tons that aren't full-time NASCAR drivers. Look at Boris Said and Ron Fellows. They were almost exclusively road course ringers. But then there's those who are, and were, full-on NASCAR drivers who absolutely own these tracks. Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, Martin Truex Jr. to an extent, and Marcos Ambrose. They all come to mind. But now, I'd say that Chase Elliott has taken the reins of the road course dominator and now is the man to beat without a doubt. I know it's early in his career, so I can understand people saying that I'm jumping the gun, that he's just hit a hot streak. But I want to look back now and see Elliott's resume at these tracks. 2016 was Elliott's rookie year. So, for the most part, he was a non-factor at these tracks. At Sonoma, he ran his best where he started, and that was 16th. He would finish 21st, so not a great start. At Watkins Glen, he'd see a bit of improvement as he would once again start 16th, but this time he improved and finished 13th. So as a start, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good, but it was something to build off of moving forward. And that would build up into 2017. At Sonoma, Elliott started out in 8th, and he ran fairly well, scoring his first road course finish as well in 8th. This was followed up by another decent run at Watkins Glen. After rolling off 4th, he would end up again in 13th. This season proved to be the start of a trend for Elliott, as his road course results only improved in 2018. At Sonoma, he rolled off 3rd, and then this time he kept his top 5 standing, finishing 4th. But like the rest of his career at this point, he needed to prove that he could win at these tracks. That day would come on August 5th that year at Watkins Glen. After rolling off 3rd, he was able to be a threat for the lead all day. He even won the second stage, and at the white flag, he had led 51 of the 89 laps at that point.
To grab his first career win. He goes wide through turn 1, the 78 coming up, closing the gap.
Fans jumping up and down, yelling, screaming, losing their minds here at Watkins Glen. Can Elliott hang on? He's back to 2 car lengths in front of Truex as they leave the S's for the final time.
Almost giving up the lead in turn 1, but he's now got another comfortable lead as he breaks into the inner loop. Martin Truex charges hard, trying to gain that ground back. No mistakes by either driver here, but Chase Elliott a cleaner corner. Now it's about 4 car lengths there through the carousel. Chase Elliott almost home free. Truex wide in the corner.
He looks to be in great shape, but the mistake that he made in 1 again cannot be replicated here in turn 6.
Truex is out of fuel.
Truex is out. Now Chase can just cruise to victory lane.
His spotter lets him know he's out of fuel. Chase Elliott comes out of turn number 7. The crowd roars. They're going to see for the first time Chase Elliott win in the Monster Energy Cup Series.
He had finally done it. He had finally broke through and won. And it was on a skill-based track like Watkins Glen, no less, the road course. This would prove to be the start of something that so far has been great. At the new Charlotte Roval, he ended up finishing 6th, and this would also prove to be a good start of things. The only hiccup so far at road courses in any way was the first road course race of 2019 at Sonoma. While running up front, Elliott would have engine issues that would relegate him to a 37th place finish. A crazy fact here, this is actually the only finish at a road course where he has not been on the lead lap. He would course correct after this at the Glen and the Roval, but not without a little adversity at the latter of those tracks.
Chase Elliott up the hill for the final time this afternoon. Looks in the rearview mirror. 4 car lengths of separation. Chase Elliott leads the way up the back straightaway for the final time.
Like he has time and time again, he has a decent lead on Truex coming into the braking zone here. What, if anything, can Truex do differently? He charges into this inner loop within a car length and a half. Can he maintain that on exit? Not so much. Back to 3 car lengths. He charges again into the carousel. There's just nothing he can do about how good this 9 car is getting out of the corner.
Chase Elliott has been perfect on these last 20-some laps. Just done a great job. 2 more corners left. Don't overdrive. 6. Hit your marks. Truex trying to make ground on him. Chase Elliott driving away.
Coming into turn 7, the final turn. The 23-year-old from Dawsonville got his first win at this racetrack and has been dominant today. He's going to win again at the Glen. 2 years in a row, the race leader has dove into turn number 1 and slammed into the wall.
This time Brad Keselowski said, oh, no, I learned this last year. I'm not going in as deep as you this year.
You can't tell me this isn't the most challenging racetrack.
There's no way you can make the argument for anything else, right? I mean, just to go straight like that, Dale, it just looks crazy.
Yeah, these are big curveballs for these pros to try to navigate through.
Elliott out of turn 4, he'll make the last chicane, and Chase Elliott put on a dominating performance today. He'll win at the Charlotte Roval.
Now, in 2020 though, the game would be changed and flipped on its head, as the stomping grounds of Elliott's career at this point, the road courses, would be canceled due to the COVID pandemic. NASCAR would call an audible though and reschedule them to race at the road course layout of Daytona. New track? No problem for the Napa crew.
Look in the mirror and feel like, man, all right, got a little more comfort there between me and the 11.
Clearly Chase Elliott's a little bit quicker, but how about Denny Hamlin? Every week it seems we see him battling for the win.
Man, Denny drove it in there.
He did.
Way
He made it work. Going to get beat on this exit, but Denny Hamlin with a big surge there into the rear chicane.
Earlier, we heard Mario Andretti talk about history and making history. It was a historic event today. The Cup Series running on the road course at Daytona for the first time ever. A big challenge out of Denny Hamlin here one last time. But trying to make history, the 9 of Chase Elliott, 3 road course wins in a row. He's going to win at Daytona.
And with that, we're caught up to the modern day. At this time, Elliott has 11 starts at the road courses in Cup. And he has 4 wins, including 3 straight at this point, as well as 5 top 5s, 7 top 10s, 213 laps led, and a 9.6 average finish. I also want to note that without that 2019 Sonoma engine issue, his average finish is 6.9. So he is definitely elite in this form of racing. But how does he compare to all-time road course racing greats like Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart? Win percentage is something that, while it cannot be directly comparable, is still interesting to look at this point. Elliott has got a bit of a career at these tracks under his belt, so it is a hefty stat to look at. Jeff Gordon has 9 wins in 47 starts, which is a percentage of 19 at these tracks. Tony Stewart has 8 wins in 34 starts, a winning rate of 23.5%. Elliott has one of 36.4% at winning 4 of his 11 starts. And with 3 straight road course wins in a row, it seems like he's beginning to master his craft. Will he continue this weekend at the Roval? Probably, as in the first 2 Roval races so far, the same people have run up front in both races, and those who are better at the road courses have excelled in the second race. But now, that's all I've got. I want to hear from you. What potential does Chase Elliott have in his future as a road course racer? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're at it, leave a like on this video. Also, if you want to hear more about the Roval that's coming up this weekend, tune into the NASCAR Weekly Podcast on Danny B Talks channel at 8 p.m. Eastern Time tonight, as we'll be joined by special guests Slap Shoes and Jinsey Stinson. So until then, have a good one.